Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. Hello, hello. It is Saturday, the 28th of October, 2023. I'm DSP. I welcome you here to the Level 1 podcast. I hope that you're all doing well. I hope that you're enjoying this spooky season. I know I am. And today, hopefully, things will be semi-back to normal, schedule-wise and the like. In fact, today I have a big schedule update for everyone so you know what to expect in the next week. I've got updates on everything. We'll talk a little bit about, what happened yesterday with the appointment with the tech that came out here. We'll talk about Alan Wake 2, which is really what I want to talk about today. If you want to talk about games that dramatically improve with the sequel, I think 13 years was a good enough time for them to figure out what to do with Alan Wake, because the sequel is really good right now. And I am very much excited for today's streams because of the level of fun, right, and excitement and just good old times that we had with this game yesterday. So, an awesome day ahead, and of course an awesome week, because not only will we be playing Alan Wake a lot, they're going to have more Spider-Man, we're going to have more Mario, we got a Halloween marathon coming up on Tuesday. Great stuff on the way, right? So, welcome everyone to today's podcast. What's funny is, today, I actually had a song playing, and people freaked out about it. Oh, it's a new song. A new song. What happened was, today on the pre-stream music, I played the Alan Wake Thriller remix from 2010. The 13-year-old song that was in my Hateful Truth review of Alan Wake 13 years ago. Just a lot of people don't remember that that's the kind of stuff I used to do way back in the day when I was a full-time YouTuber. On-demand style, didn't have live streams and stuff like that, so I would put a lot of effort into the reviews and things like that, editing them and having music, all kinds of stuff. That's what that's from. And I actually had that and played it again a couple years ago when Alan Wake Remastered came out. Do you guys remember that? Yeah, when the Alan Wake remake or remaster came out. Was it last year? It might have been last year, actually. I actually put that into the rotation for like a week or two when I was playing that game. But it's not pertinent all the time. It's pertinent for this season. So, that'll probably be in the playlist for the rest of the week. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. And I'm excited to talk about everything going on this week. I really am. It's going to be a good week. Welcome back, hopefully, to some normalcy. Although, we're going to talk about this in a second. Without going into massive detail, because I'm going to be honest. I'm the kind of guy that likes to move on. I'm not the kind of guy that likes to dwell on negativity and annoyances, right? Last few days, we've had a lot of negativity and annoyances. I even told you guys yesterday that I was really stressed out, like to my wit's end with all the nonsense going on. And I just wanted things to kind of get back to normal. And rather than me sitting here and talking about the topic of my internet screwed up for another hour, I mean, I've already talked about this, 2.5 hours on Wednesday night, had a special video on my day off. Then talked about it again yesterday. It's like, do we talk about it enough? I think we did. So I just want to kind of move on from it, and we will. But I know some people just want to know, well, what happened when the tech showed up and stuff like that. So I'll briefly talk about that on today's show. And then we will get into, the schedule and what I think about Alan Wake 2 and stuff like that, and go from there. So there you have it. Are you excited? I hope so. All right. So where to begin? Well, as you guys know, with this issues with the internet, it's been annoyingly ongoing and just, a pain in the ass. So yesterday, let's just get it out of the way. The tech and I worked on this, and it went literally exactly as I had thought. The tech showed up based on, the information I had given the customer service rep I had spoken with. They had like half information. They really didn't know what they were here for, besides my internet was down. They didn't really understand what it could have been. They had absolutely no idea that I had 2 account lines. They thought they were only here for 1. You know what I mean? Like, everything I knew just proceeded, because this is the problem with Comcast. I hate to say it. Their systems are set up very poorly, and they don't have people doing the line level customer support to have any level of knowledge or any kind of functionality to do anything to really help a customer. They're just info takers, and then they read checklists, and then they push you off to someone else who will eventually help you. So I'm not surprised the guy comes into the house with zero knowledge of what is really going on, or how this is, how to do anything. So anyway, to make a long story short, because I can sit here and tell you about every single step of the process and everything we tested, but after over an hour of testing various different things and saying, what's this, what's that, what's this, let's test this, let's test that, let's test this, let's test that, we basically couldn't get, excuse me, we couldn't just find like one set solution or cause. So here's the deal. Moving forward, I know how to fix this issue if it happens again. And the good news is it's a simple fix. This is not some giant thing that's going to take me hours to fix or anything like that. The only thing is, since we really don't know actually the cause of what messed up everything to begin with, the root cause, you can't say, oh, it'll never happen again. In fact, I would almost guarantee it'll happen again. The good thing is now I know how to handle it if it happens, you see? So, once again, this is exactly what I told you guys I was afraid of, but the good news is the fix is easy. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it would have been one thing if we couldn't figure out what it was, and it was a big elaborate thing to fix it. No, that's actually not the case. It's very easy to fix, and I can do it myself, literally sitting here. I can do it. It's not a big deal, you see? So because of that, I'm feeling a little better about it. I was actually feeling kind of down yesterday. I was like, man, what happens if we can't figure it out or whatever? But the reality is, it's not a big deal to fix if it happens again, and that's always a good thing, okay? But ideally, you would like to have a foolproof fix in place, and, you don't. That's life, I guess, right? Nothing is foolproof in life, correct? So I guess we'll see what happens. If we have issues again, what can you do? I deal with it, and then, I try to get stuff working again, and we move on. But it shouldn't be something that has me down for extended periods of time. Like, seriously, that was the problem is, for 2.5 days there, everything was, well, about 2 days, I would say, because it was about afternoon to afternoon, Wednesday to Friday, right? For about 2 days, I didn't have my internet working downstairs at all. It wouldn't work. And up here, it was like half capacity, barely working. And that's not, number one, I'm a customer. I'm a paying customer. My stuff should be working. And number two, I got a business to run, right? I got content to put out for you guys. So, yeah, we'll see and hope for the best and fingers crossed and everything. But like I said, it's actually not the end of the world. If it happens again, I know what to do to fix it. I just hope it's not a ginormous recurring problem. But I guess we have to see what happens moving forward, right? So, okay. Anyway, so there you have it. It's that simple. I really don't want to say much else about it because there's nothing else to really say. It's just a waste of time. I don't want to waste time on negativity. I want to move forward positively with all the good news stuff that's going on right now. And I think that's what we should really focus on today. Okay? So, good stuff and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I hope that you are ready for good stuff today. Because, man, are we now into the fall gaming season. Are we into the awesomeness of new releases and, of course, Halloween weekend as well. That's what I'm really excited for. It's Halloween weekend, and we get to play a stellar horror game. This is really cool that this is all timed this way, you know? So, let's talk. Yesterday, I played Alan Wake 2. I played it all day. Didn't get to play as much as I would have liked. And what I mean by that is I absolutely would have preferred to play it the entire first 2 streams like I wanted to, which would have been over 5 hours of gameplay. As is, I rearranged my schedule for after when the tech had left, and I stayed late on the late stream. So even though the schedules were all skewed and screwed up, I still played it for about 4.5 hours. So I lost about an hour yesterday. Not the end of the world. And by the way, apologies. The videos are live, but some of them didn't have thumbnails. I now got thumbnails on them this morning. Everything should be up and running now on YouTube if you want to watch the videos on demand. What a throwback. Let me just say this. What a throwback, and here's why I say that. Many of you maybe don't remember, but 13 years ago, when I was playing Alan Wake 1 for the very first time in 2010, I was not a live streamer. I didn't do direct capture. I had a camera pointed at my TV to play video games and make playthroughs on YouTube. And when I was playing Alan Wake 1, as I'm booting the game up, the power went out in my house. And it continued to record in the dark. And I turned on a flashlight to see, and it looked exactly as if in real life it was Alan Wake. And I was like, what the hell? Like, what were the chances that this would have happened when I'm playing a game where you're in the dark and you need a flashlight to survive? My power goes out and I have a flashlight, right, to turn on until the power goes back on. Now, later that night, the power did go back on, so I did play some more, and then, I played the game over the weekend. I loved it. Alan Wake was one of my more notable playthroughs of my earlier YouTube days because it was a horror thriller-themed game, and people back then really loved watching me play those style of games because a lot of people had said, when we play horror games, it's kind of scarier. It's nicer to watch you play because it feels like we're kind of sitting on a couch next to our buddy as we're playing this game together, and it's just like watching a horror movie with a friend. It's not as scary, right? So that was pretty neat. I had a lot of fun playing Alan Wake, 13 years ago, and always wondered if there would be a sequel because of its style of ending. Now, it did have several DLCs, and it had a standalone thing called American Nightmare, but it never really had a formal DLC, right? So now we've got a sequel, right? And just think about this. As I'm playing this game, first of all, I start to have internet issues, okay? Then I get my internet issues resolved, and then as I boot the game and we're in the intro segment, the audio dies in the game. It just goes silent. So I have to reboot the game again. Then we're playing the game, and I get a nosebleed in the middle of the playthrough yesterday, and I had to have my nose all clogged up because it was gushing blood. I'm like, what is happening? This is truly... Oh, and I spilled my coffee. Because on the late stream, I brought my coffee into the office to have it, and I put it down. I looked, and there was coffee everywhere. I was like, how the hell did I manage to do that? Like, it literally spilled all over my desk. Like, I don't even remember spilling it. So it's just like, it was like calamity day. Like, what is going on here? So much, and I was like, wow, maybe this really is like a cursed game and a cursed playthrough for me, that every time I play an Alan Wake game, there's going to be all these issues. In the beginning when I play it. I don't know. I mean, I will hope not. Hopefully now I've gotten past all of that. That was a pretty crazy day with all that stuff happening at once. So, hopefully we are past it. And we can have a nice smooth day, or days moving forward of playing this game. Anyway, so once we were past all the craziness. So, here's the deal with Alan Wake 2. Okay? New protagonist, which is awesome to have a new person in the lead character role. But also Alan Wake is a character in the game as well. However, I'm 4.5 hours in, and we are just now controlling him. So that's pretty crazy to think the title character isn't even going to get used until, you're, maybe, I don't know, a third into the game. Because I actually don't know how long the game is. I have no idea. And the game does have a lot of optional content. If you explore these areas and you look for optional items and missions and things, there's a lot of stuff to do in the game. I get the feeling a lot of people will just gloss right over that and just run through the main story, in which case it'll probably be much shorter. But if you take your time with Alan Wake and you fully investigate and you do all these things, the game's going to be a lot better, I feel. Like yesterday, I spent over an hour doing optional content and supplementary stuff, and it was a lot of fun. Like right now, on my screen, I wonder if I can show this to you. I don't know if this is going to work. Hold on. Alan Wake 2, I'll Find You, rare achievement, find all nursery rhyme dolls. Well, now it went away. But yeah, like, the game has these completely optional side quests to do, and one of them is you go to these areas of the game, and this is where this is cool. The universe of Alan Wake is connected with the other games that Remedy, the game developer, has made. It's connected to the universe of the game Control. For those who don't know, the game Control is about the Federal Bureau of Control. What this is a federal agency that is tracking, regulating, and attempting to control paranormal and supernatural phenomenon. Okay? So it's kind of weird because if you didn't play Control, you wouldn't really understand it. But the premise of Control is that our universe has a lot of sci-fi like stuff going on. Like, you ever saw the TV show Fringe or X-Files? It's kind of like that, where there's all this stuff that's inexplicable at first glance going on, but then as you study it further, you realize there's sets of rules to follow, and as long as you follow those rules, it's kind of like a new science, and you can use those things in an expected way. You know, you could have a possessed chair, but if you use the rules, maybe you could use that chair to do something. You know what I mean? So that's what Control's really about. And it ties into Alan Wake because apparently all the events of Alan Wake are taking place at this lake called Cauldron Lake. And in this game, Alan Wake 2, the people from Control are actually tracking what's going on. There's actually tracking equipment and stuff around Cauldron Lake. And one of the things that they did is they started doing these experiments in the environment around Cauldron Lake. If you write a story, will that story manifest into real life? So they got these little figurines that almost look like chess pieces, and they represent certain things: the hero, the wolf, the crow. And they drew these like puzzles on the ground, and if you move the characters around, you unlock a puzzle, and then you could get like a reward. So that's neat. It's completely supplemental content. It's not necessarily the main plot of Alan Wake 2, but it's something fun to do in the game, and there's stuff like that all over the game. These supplemental cases and things you can do that make it fun to do instead of just, barrel through the main storyline, which really was what Alan Wake 1 was. The only difference is in Alan Wake 1, there was some hidden caches and things you can do, but never it wasn't very elaborate. In this game, there are all this elaborate stuff to do. But outside of the side content, the main story is very interesting. You know, you're following along this FBI agent named Saga, who has her own mystery going on because immediately when she shows up in town of Bright Falls, people are acting like they know her. She's like, I don't know you. How do you know me? So obviously there's something going on here behind the scenes that we're not aware of. And then, of course, supernatural phenomena start to happen. They're investigating a series of ritualistic murders by supposedly a cult, the Cult of the Deer. And it's pretty gory. Just to say, what a difference between Alan Wake 1 and 2. This game has gore, violence, and strong horror. All right? As opposed to Alan Wake 1 was like a thriller. There was stuff that was, enemies were coming after you or whatever, but it never felt like true horror. It was more like a psychological thriller. This has horror elements to it, like jump scares and creepiness and gore and things like that. So it's very different in that regard. And it's cool because now the gameplay is completely changed from the first game. In this one, it's more about you being a investigator and trying to piece together the pieces of a mystery or an investigation. So you have what's called the Mind Palace that you go into. It's essentially your own lodge in your mind where you lay out all the evidence from all these things you're finding, all these clues to each case and everything. And it's neat because it's an awesome narrative while you're also playing a horror game. I like it. And then what we're also finding out, and this is just a minor spoiler, so don't worry, it's not going to spoil major plot elements, but apparently the main detective or the main investigator, Saga, is a clairvoyant. And what that means is that she can actually use her powers to seek out more information about the case that a normal person wouldn't know, and it allows her to get further in a case than other investigators. So she's looking for an answer. Where is this item? And then she'll try to contact the mind of one of the people involved, and all of a sudden you'll start hearing their thoughts and they'll answer her question because she's clairvoyant, which is kind of neat. And honestly, I think that this is going to tie directly into the plot of the game as we get further in. Right now, it's just got minor things, but I think this will actually have something to do with the game. So that's pretty cool. Now, like I said, we spent almost 4 hours tracking down, this cult. There's a horrible murder. There's a zombie and monsters, and we had an epic boss fight. And finally, at the very end of the 4.5 hours we played, Alan Wake has come into play and is now part of the game. And in fact, when I play it today, that's where we're picking up. We're picking up right where we had left off. where now we're controlling Alan Wake. Now, it seems like everything Alan Wake will be doing is kind of like not real. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like he's stuck in his own mind. I mean, he's been supposedly stuck in the dark place, this lake, Cauldron Lake, for 13 years. So I would say, yeah, he probably doesn't have all of his screws on too tight. You know what I mean? So I guess we'll see as the game progresses today, and we play more with Alan, how different is the game playing as Alan versus playing as Saga. Because Saga was very reminiscent of playing Alan Wake 1, but a lot of key differences. The key difference, number one, the open world aspect of the game. You can now explore maps at your own leisure and find optional content and do all that stuff. And you couldn't do that really with Alan Wake 1. It was very linear. Although there were some optional areas to explore, there was no major map or anything to follow. It was a kind of point A to point B kind of a game. And this one, you have all these areas to explore fully. Number two, the combat in this game, at least in the first 4.5 hours, is actually very scarce. And you know what? I think that 100% is in line with feedback that Remedy probably received over the last decade about this game. Alan Wake 1 starts off creepy, but ends up by the end feeling very grindy. And what I mean by that is there is so much of the repetitive gameplay in Alan Wake 1. So many waves of the same enemies coming after you. So much of having to use either a flare gun or a flare in your hand or the flashlight to destroy their shield and then shoot them and they die. And do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Like, does it ever end? Did they ever stop coming? This is ridiculous. So in this game, the combat in the first 4.5 hours, I mean, maybe I've killed, I'm not even kidding, I probably killed 10 to 12 enemies total in the whole game. But that's okay, because what happens is when the enemies show up, they're scary, they're startling, they jar you, and it's a serious encounter every time. These enemies hit for a ton of damage, by the way. Like, 1 or 2 hits, you're almost dead. So it does feel a lot more like survival horror in this regard. I remember in Alan Wake 1, you're constantly, you got batteries, you got a million pieces of ammo here, a million things here, kill everything, a million enemies. It doesn't feel like that in this one, right? It doesn't, and I like that. I hope, if it does change, obviously my opinion may change on it, but right now it feels way more like they're going more for horror and atmosphere and a story rather than just shoot everything around you, which is really what the first game felt like in a lot of cases. And that's a great improvement. So 4.5 hours in, and I kind of feel like we're just scratching the surface of what the game is. I can't wait to play as Alan today and see how different perhaps his gameplay is compared to Saga's. And I can't wait to unravel the mystery of Saga's history with the town of Bright Falls, which doesn't make sense because she claims this is the first time she's ever been there. What really happened in the 13 years that Alan Wake was in the lake. You know, there's so much going on in the game. I can't wait to see how it pans out and how it translates into a fun experience. So I am playing Alan Wake 2 all day today, and originally that wasn't the plan. It was going to be Alan Wake on the first stream and Spider-Man 2 on the late stream. But number one, I'm loving this game, and I want to play more of it. Obviously, for Halloween weekend, you want to play as much of a horror game as you can. And number two, we are in a situation where I already lost gameplay of this game yesterday, which I shouldn't have, but I did. So that's cool that now I have control over the schedule. Like, you know what? Pulling that audible. I'm playing this all day again today. Now, for those that were here yesterday, they seem to love it. Right? They absolutely loved it. And I'm happy, and I'm having a good time. I love Halloween. I love horror. I'm in the vibe. Today should be a good day. We should have a great time together, enjoying this game in the fall all day long. So I'm going into today feeling very positive and very excited about the future of what we're doing here. I hope you guys will join me all day. If you like Halloween horror vibes, that's exactly what we're getting today. And cannot wait. Seriously, cannot wait for more. So hope you'll join me all day long here on DSPGaming for Alan Wake 2 continuing on. Okay? It's good stuff. Since this is a perfect time to transition, let's transition and talk about the schedule for the rest of the week, shall we? So, Alan Wake today, first stream and late stream. The late stream tonight is 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. So, you figure between the two streams, we should have 5 or more hours of gameplay of Alan Wake 2. Now, originally, alright, my plan was that this weekend I was likely going to watch the Five Nights at Freddy's movie per your requests and review it. Now, to clarify, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie released yesterday. And it released in theaters and on Peacock on demand. Now, I've never had Peacock, so I'm thinking what I could do is get that free trial or whatever and watch the movie and review it. But a couple things have happened. The first being that with all this stuff going on, you know, with my tech and everything, that has set me back. So I already have been kind of stressed out and spending a lot of extra time getting other shit going. So I didn't get to watch. I was thinking I was going to watch it Friday night. I did not get to watch it last night. Okay, it just didn't happen. I can't watch it tonight because tonight I have to do all the setup work for tomorrow's React show, which takes a while because I have to go through all the submissions, put them into appropriate playlists, make sure that they're not flagged for kids or adults because I can't watch those. You know, I've got a lot of work that I need to do with that. And so, because I have a lot of work I need to do with that, I don't have time to film the review tonight. Now, could I still watch the movie? Yes. Could I still review the movie? Yes. However, if you're not aware, basically, this movie apparently sucks. All right? And I was trying to stay away from information about it. And then yesterday on stream, a lot of people were telling me, Phil, we think you shouldn't even watch it or review it. And I was like, what? Now that's a flippant attitude. Because people have been like gung-ho to see me watch a brand new horror movie and review it. You guys know my opinion on the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. I don't like it. I played the first game. I don't think it's scary at all. I think it's kind of a joke, okay? And I played one of the later ones, and even with modernized graphics and controls and gameplay elements, it's still bad. It's just not a scary game at all. You could tell it's a streamer's game to scream like an idiot at a camera, act like it's scary, and then everyone buys in because, I hate to say it, they're gullible. Yeah, the game is just not very good, in my opinion. If you like it, I mean, it's your cup of tea. Everyone has different tastes, right? I think it's shit. I really do. So when this movie was coming out, I was like, well, I guess it depends on how it goes, you know, how kind of a movie they made. So here's the deal. From what I've seen, here's the movie they made. I'm not shitting you. It's 90 minutes. In the movie, for 10 minutes, the animatronics come alive to kill people. 10 minutes out of 90 minutes. The other 80 minutes of the fucking movie is all about characters on the periphery. So if you care about the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's, if you're someone who fucking makes game theories about the fucking game and sits there and makes fanfics about Five Nights at Freddy's, this is your movie. If you're actually going into Five Nights at Freddy's watching a horror movie, you won't get it. It's not a horror movie. Wow. That was smart. Let's try to make our game franchise hit the mainstream and advertise it as a horror movie and not make a fucking horror movie. Wow, you guys are really smart, huh? Because it was weird. I didn't know this. But I heard this week that the movie is rated PG-13. I was like, wait a minute, what? How could a horror movie about animatronics coming alive and murdering people be rated PG-13? It's not supposed to be psychological horror. It's pretty straightforward. The robots come alive and kill you. It's not, oh, is there a ghost haunting the house that could be stalking us with jump scares and back lore? It's supposed to be, yes, they're alive and they kill you. Like, that's the plot of Five Nights at Freddy's. So how could it be a PG-13 movie if that's the case? Because they never literally do anything. The whole movie is about humans. And 10 minutes they come alive and that's it. Like, what the fuck? So, after hearing this, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know. Like I said, I never had Peacock before. My plan was to get the free trial. It is a piece of hair. I was like, why is this on my forehead? It's a big piece of hair. My plan was to get the free trial of Peacock and using the free trial to get the movie and basically watch it and review it thinking it's a horror movie. It's not. And the thing is, I don't care about the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't give a fuck about the people around it. I don't care about the history of the fucking animatronics and shit. I just care about them coming alive and killing people. And that's not what the movie's about. So if I'm going to use my Peacock preview to see this movie, I think I might want to wait instead and use it later on if there's something better. You know what I'm saying? Well, I get the feeling what's going to happen is I'm going to watch this movie. I'm going to hate it. All I'm going to do is say, yeah, the movie sucks. It's boring. It's 80 minutes of shit that sucked. Badly acted, bad plot, bad everything. 10 minutes of stuff that should be the whole movie. It sucks. 0 out of 10. There's my review. I didn't even see the movie, and I just made my review. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just did it. I literally just explained it. So I don't even need to see it And it's like, I feel bad, and here's why I feel bad. Because I've been talking about this movie for weeks, telling you at the end of the month I would review it, and I don't think anyone foresaw how bad it would be. Like, people thought, oh, it'll be cool, a new horror movie. Phil can actually review a brand new one as it comes out. It's pertinent to video games. I don't think none of us suspected it would just be a stinker. Well, it sounds like a stinker, right? So, I guess maybe I should skip it. It's up to you. You guys let me know what you want. If you still want me to watch and review it, I would consider it. But, like, right now, I feel like, what's the point? If it really is that bad, right? Maybe by Tuesday I can find maybe one more horror movie to review. I don't know. Or not. I mean, I've reviewed a ton. I mean, think about it. I reviewed 2 Scream movies, 3 Halloween movies, Barbarian, and Dr. Sleep. That's 2 Scream movies, 3 Halloween movies, Barbarian, and Dr. Sleep. I reviewed 7 movies this month. I never review that much. I already reviewed a ton of stuff this month. All right? You know what I could do? I could get a head start on watching Invincible, because you guys have distinctly requested that I review Invincible in November. So maybe that's what I should do instead. Maybe I should start watching Invincible Season 1. I think there's 8 episodes, and each episode's about 40 minutes long. So it's going to take me a while to get through that. So maybe I should start watching that instead. And then maybe I could do like a 1 video review when I finish Season 1 of what I thought about Invincible as Season 1. And then when we head into Season 2, I can start live reviewing as the episodes come out. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what I can do. Have I watched The Boys? I've seen some of it. I actually watched some of Season 1. I want to watch through all of it because I know that new Boys season is coming out soon. I don't know exactly when, but it's supposed to be coming out. Didn't they say by the end of the year? So that I think would be very cool to review live if a new episode comes out every week or whatever. Or even if it's a whole season and I'm watching maybe like, 2 episodes at a time and reviewing them. I think that would be neat to do. But I haven't watched it all. You have to get through it. So, anyway, what do you think? Should I still review Five Nights at Freddy's? Should I not bother with it? Should I maybe get a head start on Invincible and start working on that? And what I'm going to do in the month of November, I'm going to post up a thread on DSP Reacts. That's the React channel where I review all this stuff. And I'm going to have a suggestion box there for stuff to review. I'm going to say, guys, what is it that you would like to see me review? Do you have movies you'd like to see me watch? Do you have other series that are available now, either on like Max or Amazon Prime Video or something else that's easy, that you would recommend? Because I'd be interested in reviewing stuff for you. Okay? Now, also, probably around second half of November into December, I want to start reviewing Christmas-themed stuff. And there's so much Christmas content out there to review. There's so much stuff to watch. I know there's a million movies, specials, everything, right? And a lot of these are available easily on these on-demand services. So I'm going to look into that. And I might this year, for the first time ever, try to watch some Christmas movies that I've never seen before and review them because I've never seen them. It'll be interesting to watch them and review like a movie I've never heard of or never seen. Never saw Fred Claus. Never saw Christmas with the Cranks, some of these. So I think that's what I will do is I'll post up your ability to nominate things that you'd like to see me review over on DSP Reacts in like the second half of November into December. Okay? So let's see how it goes. But I think that'll be fun. I've really enjoyed doing the movie reviews this month. I have. As tough as it's been to squeeze in the time to review the stuff, when I actually get to watch and review it, I'm having a good time. All right? So I want to keep that rolling, and I hope that you guys are enjoying it. And again, feedback. Do I do Five Nights at Freddy's? Do I skip it? If I skip it, what should be next? That's the kind of feedback I'm looking for. Okay? Monty Mole, you are not banned. Everyone can see you typing. No one knows what you're talking about. I think some people are very paranoid. Okay. Anyway, so, what was I going to say? So schedule-wise, let's talk about the schedule for the rest of the week. Today, it's Alan Wake 2 all day. Tomorrow is my React day. So, yes, tomorrow will be DSP versus the Internet, my React show where I watch clips submitted by the channel members over on DSP React. And this will be the last weekly show with Halloween theme. So we're probably going to see some Halloween horror yet again. It'll be fun. I'm excited for that. But at the same time, it'll be kind of a way to say, okay, that's the end of horror for the year. Man, we just did over a month of it. let's move on. And I think what we'll do is the next week we'll have more holiday vibes, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, shopping season, stuff like that. And we'll see what kind of content people come up with for next week's reality show, or react show, excuse me. So that's the daytime stream tomorrow. Sunday night will be the return of Spider-Man 2 to the late stream here on DSP Gaming. I love the game. You guys know that. The graphics are great. The combat's great. The story is very good. And I can't wait to play more. Sucks that we lost an hour of gameplay of this back on Wednesday. And obviously, I'm kind of, ingrained right now in Alan Wake 2. But we will get back to Spider-Man tomorrow night. Then on Monday, it'll be Alan Wake 2 on the daytime stream. And the night stream will be more Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Yeah, I know. At this point now, it's been a ridiculously long time since I played the game. Almost a whole freaking week because of what happened with my internet and everything. But that will continue on Monday night. Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, is the big Halloween marathon event. Tuesday is a Halloween special. I'll be in costume all day long. We'll be playing horror-themed games, including the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Resident Evil 0, and Phasmophobia. Is that what it's called? Phasmophobia? So, it'll also be cool because it's the first time we're actually doing like a new game on my mini PC. I've never really used my mini PC outside of playing Chrono Trigger, which obviously is far from a newer game. So it'll be cool to try out Phasmophobia on my mini PC, and give it a go. So I'm excited. This will be pretty neat. Plus, in addition to, the festivities of me being dressed up and playing games, we're going to do a tier maker where we're going to count down, get this, the biggest horror movie franchises. And they're all going to go head to head. We're talking classics like Dracula against more modern ones like Friday the 13th. We're talking The Exorcist against Saw, right? I mean, pretty crazy when you try to rank these. I don't know. This is going to be tough. We're going to have to fight each other over this, I think. It's going to be interesting. Is it not Phasmophobia? What's it called? People are making fun of me. What is it called then? Hold on. What is it called? Let me find it. People are saying it's not Phasmophobia. Hold on. I know an easy way to do this. I don't know why I just did that. Hold on. I got my shortcut here I can use. Here's my cheat. It is Phasmophobia. That's what I said it was. Why are people saying... You guys are something else. It is Phasmophobia. How dare you? Alright, anyway. So, yes. So we will be, ranking the, whole deal with Tier Maker, ranking horror franchises. We'll probably have some food. We're going to order some food. So meal will be arriving. We'll do a feasting with Phil. The first time we've done one in many, 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 weeks to months. So that'll be fun. It's going to be a good time. I am very excited. And I hope that you guys will join me for the Halloween Marathon all day on Tuesday. All right. Then on Wednesday, we're back to regularly scheduled gameplay. More Alan Wake. And probably it's going to be Alan Wake and Spider-Man again to end the streaming week. Now, there are no major new releases until November 9th, which is Like a Dragon Gaiden. And then on November 10th, it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. The next release is the 17th, which is the Super Mario RPG remake. Are there other games? Yes. There's the RoboCop game on November 2nd. There's The Lords of the Fallen, which you guys apparently want to see me still play, despite the fact that it hasn't been getting stellar reviews and apparently has performance issues across the board that still haven't really been fixed, even though they've tried to patch it repeatedly. There's other games we haven't played, like Sea of Stars. We could go back and continue on with Starfield, right? At some point, we can go back to World Tour Mode of Street Fighter 6, although admittedly I'm not in a rush to do that. Or we could bring Street Fighter 6 back into the mix with ranked play, because I haven't done it now in a couple of weeks. So there's all these options, right, of things that we can do in November, dependent on how long it takes for us to beat the games I'm currently playing and what the new games are like and things like that. So I think we have more than enough content to occupy us moving forward in the next couple of months into December. So I'm not really too worried about that. Also coming up in the month of November at Black Friday, which is the day after Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving that is, so it's usually the last Friday of the month. We're going to be doing another marathon, and it's going to be the Adpocalypse. And I'm excited for this because it could be many things. It could be Adpocalypse 2.0. It could be Son of Adpocalypse. It could be Revenge of Adpocalypse. We got to think what we want to call it. And what this is going to be is a marathon where I watch advertisements all day long. We tried this last year, and it was hilarious because people thought it wouldn't work. It ended up going really, really, really well. Like, very entertaining and very fun. So, I'm looking forward to doing it again, and we're going to start with that. Like, nominations for that probably in early November as well. All right? So, anyway, good stuff coming up. Hope that sounds good to you. All right? Now, what's funny is people in the chat are saying, oh, don't you need a microphone to play Phasmophobia? I don't know. I've never played it. Do you? If you do, you probably should have thought about that before you nominated it and voted for it. Because, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know anything about the game. You guys are the ones that are nominating and voting for games, not me. You understand that, right? You're talking to the wrong person. I don't know, do you? And if you do, I don't know what I'm going to do because I don't have a standalone mic for my PC, my mini PC. I don't even know if that mini PC has a microphone port, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I guess I could go look. I don't think it does. Nope. All it's got is a few USB. That's it. No. Wait. No. Nope. No, it doesn't even have a microphone port on the mini PC. I would have to be, I guess, via USB. You do need a mic. Not spoiling. Some equipment works by asking the ghost to write or speak. If you're going to use the Xbox controller, you can use its mic port. That's not a mic port. That's a headphone jack. You know that, right? That's a headphone jack. That's how I get audio, actually. From stuff, I plug my headphones into the controller. It's used as both. Because when I will not use this, I don't use this for audio. When I play PC, this has to be plugged into my receiver unit here. So, I don't know. You can use an old pair of headphones with a mic. Oh, that's great. Where do I get an old pair of headphones with a mic? Exactly. If your Xbox controller is plugged into the PC via USB and your headphones have a mic. No, I told you, these headphones will not be plugged in. It's going to be plugged in via a receiver unit. It's different. So, no. Do I have Bluetooth headphones with a dongle? No. No. No, all my old headphones are broken. I don't have headphones anymore. I have one pair of headphones and they're wireless. You know, maybe that'll work. I do have a wireless pair of headphones. That's USB. Maybe I could use those. I have to charge it though. But maybe I could do that. It's USB enabled. Maybe if I plug it in there via the USB dongle, it'll enable it wirelessly. You know, that might work. The one problem, though, is that if I do that, it's going to screw up the audio. Yeah, that won't work either. Because if I use that, it's going to screw up the audio. It's going to have audio out to the headphones. It's not going to have audio out to the stream. It's going to only let you select one audio out source. You see? So that won't work either. I would have to have a totally dedicated microphone, just a mic, not audio out, but just audio in device, so that we could still do audio out via the HDMI. Then you guys would get the audio on the stream. I would get the audio via my headphones here, and then we would still need a microphone. Yeah. So, does anyone have a recommendation of just a simple mic that you know would work with a mini PC and it wouldn't hinder and do audio out? I need answers now, because this is the first time you guys have told me. We're what, 3 days away from the Halloween marathon, and now people bring this up. That's interesting. Again, I don't know anything about these games. You guys nominate them. I'm like, okay, I'll play them. I'm down. But, you know, it'd be nice to know about this a little earlier so we could have prepared besides 3 days before. But I guess that's life, right? So, maybe the PS5 gamepad? I don't know. Does the PS5 gamepad work if you plug it into a PC via USB? I should always know a game you've never played before would require a mic. I know, because as you know, every video game today requires a mic. Literally every one, like all of the none. I think the last game I played that needed a mic was Astro's Playroom, which came with the PS5 as a launch title. And outside of that, I don't think I've actually used a microphone on a console in about 10 years. So there you go. Use a $10 pair of earbuds with a built-in mic. The PC doesn't have a headphone jack. I would need to use a USB thing. So I need to buy something that's USB. No, what I'm thinking, I might just have to buy a very simple USB mic, right? Like very simple USB. They used to sell them all the time. They used to be very common back in the day. You used to get a little microphone that, you know, angles to your face, and it's a USB device. It's probably what I would need. Again, connect your PS5 controller to the PC, use the onboard mic. So if I take my PS5 controller and I just plug it in via USB, you're telling me that the onboard mic of the controller will just work. That's what you're saying. I don't need to buy a mic. And you're sure of this. You're sure you want to take this gamble and tell me that this is what I need to do. Excuse me. You used it the other day. I don't need a USB headphone mic. I don't want headphones. Headphones will create an audio conflict. I need just a mic. I cannot use something that's a headphone set, because the headphone set will create a second audio output and the PC will only do one. I already know this from experience. The PCs don't want to do a dual audio out either. They fight with you over it. So I could only have audio out via HDMI. If I plug in headphones, it's going to say, well, what do you want to use, the headphones or the HDMI? Well, I want to use headphones so I can use the mic. Well, now you can't do audio out on HDMI. So fuck that. Now some people are saying it doesn't need a mic. What are you talking about? How are you going to tell me now? How am I ever supposed to know what to do? Right? 3 days before the marathon. Oh, this game needs a mic. Oh, okay. So let's brainstorm solutions. We start talking about it for 20 minutes. And at the end of the 20 minutes, oh, this game doesn't need a mic. What? I'm just going to take a nap. I'm just going to take a small nap. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. It's not impossible without a mic, but it is strongly recommended for vital communications. You know, I did look this up on Steam, and it didn't say you needed a mic. It didn't. Like, I did look this game up, because people are like, oh, why didn't he research? No, I did. I looked it up, and it said nothing about that whatsoever. So, I get the feeling like it is a big part of it, right? You don't need a mic, especially if you're playing solo. The Spirit Box doesn't require the mic. It works without it. I just Googled it. If you're playing solo, no mic is needed. Text can be used instead. So fuck it then. Then I'm not gonna do nothing. Oh my god. You have to say the name of the ghost? Fuckface. How many times do I have to say fuckface or Dingleberry? Hey Dingleberry, come on out. Oh my god. Alright. I'm just not gonna I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm just gonna say forget it. I'm just gonna play the game on Tuesday, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, we have backups. That's why we have a backup. What are the 3 games we're doing? Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Resident Evil 0, Phasmophobia. If something doesn't work or it's not good, we've got Cry of Fear. That's the backup. So we'll have all this. I'll have to get this all ready Monday night. There you go. Why wouldn't I be playing solo? Like, you're gonna make me go all Mr. Hyde, right? You're gonna make me turn into Mr. Hyde and just start freaking out. Anyway, all right. Anyway, so that's Tuesday. I'm excited for Tuesday's Halloween marathon, folks. Okay. There's no real news today. I looked into gaming news and stuff. There's not much going on right now besides Alan Wake. A lot of people are talking about it, but outside of that, it's pretty quiet. So nothing really to focus on today in that regard. What I will say very quickly, thank you guys for being here and for supporting my content. Today is a full day of gameplay streaming, fingers crossed, with no interruptions. If there are interruptions, hopefully I can fix them myself, and it's not a big deal. So double Alan Wake. It would be great if you could support my streams. Now, being matter of fact is this channel has lost over 230 memberships this month. Yes, that hurts a lot. Being matter of fact, it does. That's a lot of money that I've lost. I don't know why memberships are so low this month. We're playing nonstop new games, and typically when I play new releases, people are inspired to come and become a member or support the channel by gifting memberships. That didn't happen this month. Funny part is everything else is normal. Super chats, tips have actually been quite good. I don't have any complaints in that regard at all. It's just these memberships for some odd reason are very low for this month. And it's weird because last month there wasn't that much going on besides maybe Lies of P, and the channel actually did much better. I don't know what the difference is. Okay, I don't know. So I'm enjoying the games we're playing. You guys are telling me the playthroughs are great. All I can do is keep playing and being positive, right? So all I'm going to say is if you like the content, please support it. As you know, I don't get paid product sponsorships. I don't get partnerships. I don't get, shill opportunities and stuff like that. I don't want them, first of all. But, I'm a different kind of guy. I'm an independent content creator. I've been here for 15 years because you support the content that you like. You tell me you like this kind of content. That's why I do it, right? So please support it if you can in one of the following ways, okay? A super chat or a super sticker would be amazing. If you're watching this on demand, right, then perhaps a super thanks on a video. That's eligible because not all of them are eligible, but a lot of them are. And a super thanks is just a way to leave, a YouTube contribution on an on-demand video. No matter what you do in any of those ways, I'm going to give you a personal shout-out or a highlight on, like, the comments or whatever and say thank you. A membership or a gifted membership. If you become a member today, you get tons of benefits. You get access to a ton of emotes. You get a cool chat crown badge to show how long you've been a supporter. You don't have any limitations to how long that you can talk in the chat. Right now, we do have slow mode limitations, but those get removed if you're a member. And you get priority for special events. For example, members this month picked Texas Chainsaw Massacre for my Halloween event. So it's cool to be a member because you get a lot of cool benefits out of it. If you're someone who likes the content on this channel and you want to support this channel, give some memberships. It's a great way to do that. It helps out not only me, but your fellow viewer as well. It's a great way to build a community, right? So consider it, okay? Now, tipping is also a great way to support. When you tip me, number one, I get funds right away that I can put towards a bill, groceries, other errands. It's liquidity for the business, essentially. Number two, I actually get a little bit more of a cut of a PayPal contribution than I really do of anything else, because there's always middlemen involved, right? And with PayPal, it's a little bit less taken away. Not that it's a ginormous difference, but there's definitely a difference. So that's why I always say, hey, tips are a great way to help if you can, right? That's why I have goals, and that's why I have rewards. If we raise 50 bucks in tips today, I'll do Gunner glasses. If we raise 100 bucks in tips, you get to pick a silly hat for me to wear for the whole stream, or a vest or whatever. That's cool, right? My goal is to hit the tier 1 tips goal every stream this week. $50 on every stream. Is it possible? Probably not. All right, just being honest. I didn't even hit it last night on the late stream. But, you know, it all evens out. Sometimes you have a good day. Sometimes you have bad days. Sometimes you have a good stream, a slow stream. It happens, right? But as long as I can kind of average that out, then it'll be fine. So if you like the content, please support it in some way. And that's how the content will continue, okay? I have made tons of improvements this year, if you haven't noticed. My visual quality, my audio quality, not my audio quality, my visual quality with the camera and setup, the visual quality of the videos. I just recently improved my streams. You know, I'm making active efforts to improve based on your feedback and your advice. And I hope that that has shown through this year. So if you like that, please support it, all right? Another important way that you can support that's completely free is engagement. Liking a video or a stream you're watching and enjoying, leaving a comment on a video and just saying, hey, good video, or hey, just want to help. Here you go. That helps. That engagement is key. I'm serious. You guys have no idea how much it's taken for granted on YouTube that people will watch content, not comment, not like, and, you know, that hurts. When you get that engagement, it helps you to show up in the YouTube's algorithm. And, you know, an old timer like me, I know I'm only 41 years old, but I've been a YouTuber for 15 years. And since I don't do the style of content that YouTube likes and promotes, it's very hard to get noticed in YouTube's algorithms, right? I do my best, but what can you do? You know, so if you could help out in that regard, please do. Mishael, are you seriously going to say that? You're serious right now? He says, aren't comments disabled? No, comments are not disabled on my content. Why would I have been asking for comments for years if the comments were disabled? What a genius. Yikes. Anyway, yeah, if you could do that for me, I would really appreciate that. Thank you in advance for the engagement or any kind of support. Speaking of which, it's time to do some shout outs for support. Sound good? Here we go. We start off today with King Be Cruel, who did a super chat and says, your new song gave me whiplash. Again, it's not a new song. That is the Alan Wake Thriller remix from 13 years ago. Far from new from my review of Alan Wake in 2010. It actually has a music video attached to it as well, but I never put it out as a standalone video. It always was the end of my Alan Wake review, which was a two-parter review, because back then in 2010 you could not do videos longer than like 15 minutes. So I had to do like a two-parter review. And that was the music attached to the end of it. So I'll give it a look, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. Spider Dijon became a channel member this morning. Thank you very much to Spider Dijon for your support. And then Dan the Man gifted a membership, and it went to Juan Z888. So awesome. Thank you very much to you guys for those memberships. We're now up to 424 and climbing. It would be great to be on the right pattern today and to end around 440 like I was hoping we could do by the end of the day. Or, hey, if we exceed that, I mean, that'd be stellar, right? Shout out to Avarice, who re-upped their membership, says, thanks for being honest and transparent. I try to be. Like I said, my goal is never to overpromise and underdeliver. So I always want to tell you exactly what's going on so you know what's happening, at least to the best of my ability. I can't always tell you everything, but at the same time, I want you to know what's happening. And, this month, overall, has been a great month for support, except for memberships. I don't know why. I don't know why the giant gap in memberships. You would think, again, when you're playing the hot new releases and people are telling you the playthroughs are good, that the memberships would come with that, and they didn't this month, Maybe there's some people who are actually going to be here during the Halloween marathon on Tuesday, and that's their idea, is come during the marathon when there's a lot of people. I don't know. I don't know what's in people's minds, but maybe that's it. Maybe on Tuesday we'll see something. I don't know. Okay? Okay. So, let's continue. First tip of the day from Wumba, $6.56. Glad that everything is sorted. Looking forward to watching your Alan Wake 2 playthrough. Thank you very much. Me too. I'm very looking forward to playing it today, all day long, which should be super fun. The game so far is stellar. Great writing, spooky plot, interesting elements, scares, gore, everything you want in a good horror game. This game seems to have right now. So I cannot wait to continue today and see how this pans out. Now that we're going to start playing as Alan Wake today, should be really cool. All right, thank you so much, Woomba. Okay. I received a $5 tip from Dan the Man. I'm having fun playing Alan Wake 2 even though I never played the first. That's cool. I would say it's not like you needed to play the first to play this one. I just wonder how confused you are about the plot. Because there's already a ton of elements in this game that tie directly to the first. So if you didn't at least read like a plot synopsis of the first, this has got to be a really confusing game. Like, I'll be honest, the whole first few hours, you're dealing with this guy who was murdered. His name's Nightingale. And even I didn't really remember Nightingale that well. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. He was the agent, the federal agent, that came to the lake in the first game to investigate all these occurrences. And he actually suspected that Alan Wake was responsible for them and thought that he was like a murderer or something. When in reality, that wasn't the case. But he was trying to like pin it all on Alan. And then eventually during the course of the game, the dark presence actually sucks in Nightingale, and that's the end of him. Well, here he is. He comes back 13 years later, right? So there you go. And, you know, that's what I mean. If you haven't at least kind of giving yourself like a refresher or an update, you might be really confused about what's happening because there's tons of ties to the first game. But it's fine because the game plays so differently from the first game that it's not like a required play, but I would say it's at least a required like watch or read to know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? There you go. 1 second. Ooh. Let's do this. Scoot this back. Put this further up here. There we go. There we are. I was just repositioning my capture device to be more firmly on my stand and between the consoles. It looked like it had shifted a little bit. Not surprising with all the cable management and the pulling of cables and things I've been doing this last few days with the internet issues. It looked like it had pulled onto the floor. I was like, oh, I don't want that capture device sitting on carpet. So I put it back onto the stand there. So there you go. Okay, so that's what we've got for shout outs so far. All right, if you guys would like to support the stream in any way, I'm happy to shout it out and answer any questions. And if you want to just ask me a question, a little bit of Q&A before we start with Alan Wake 2 today, please tag me in the chat. Let's see what people want to talk to this morning. My hair is sticking up right here and will not go down. I tried like wetting it and everything. It still won't go down, so I give up. It's going to stand up. It's going to do what it wants, right? Derek, what I would say, because Derek is saying, I loved how DSP versus the internet this month was all horror themed. What about next month? I would say 2 things for November. Obviously, in the United States, we've got Thanksgiving coming up. So anyone who's American might want to submit things that are related to Thanksgiving, which I'd be down for. You know, food and stuff like that. I'm down for that. Shopping. Why? Black Friday's coming up. Black Friday's a huge shopping event. Everyone talks about it. I'd love to see videos and things related to that. But of course, ultimately, we're getting into the Christmas holiday season now. Everyone's going to be in the holiday spirit after, you know, Halloween's over. Everyone will be talking about it. It's going to be Christmas time everywhere. So I'll be down for that stuff too. If people want to jump the gun and go to Christmas first, we could do that too. But that's what I would say. That kind of themed stuff on the React show would be great. What's up, Jade? Good to see you. How are you today? I'm not going to tell you what my game of the year is because I don't have one yet. The year's not over. I would like to play the Avatar game in December. Yes, it's intriguing. It looks like gameplay of, say, Far Cry, of course, mixed in with the universe of Avatar, and it looks like it could work as a really entertaining game. And so, yeah, I'm very interested in that, and I might play it. If I do, I'm going to do exactly what I did with Assassin's Creed Mirage. I'm just going to get Ubisoft Plus for the month. Why on earth would I spend $60, $70 when I could just drop $18, right, for 1 month, play the game, and just cancel it? I'd be silly. Right now, I'd say we got some interesting candidates. We had some really good games this year. Resident Evil 4 Remake, right? Street Fighter 6, Lies of P. Right now, we're playing Alan Wake, which is stellar. Super good. Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Like, right now, we've got a lot of good games that I feel would be in competition. The funny part is, I guarantee you there's more than that, but those are just the ones that I'm getting coming to mind quickly. But I guarantee you there's going to be more than that, too. Plans for Thanksgiving? Dinner at home. And my wife will probably be making some stuff. My parents usually get us some sides as like a gift. They'll like order from like TV or something, you know, TV shopping. My mom will usually order a few like holiday sides and mail them to us that are frozen. We usually warm those up, and then we make some stuff too. Last year we did a turkey roast. So instead of getting a giant turkey with everything on it, they cut like half the turkey off, and you just get like the whole like front chicken breast and stuff like that. And that was fine. We didn't need everything else. We were happy with just that, and that was good for multiple meals, with some gravy and stuff. So that's probably what we'll do. We'll probably just get like the turkey roast, and we'll have like some bread and some cranberry sauce and whatever sides my parents send us. That's probably what we'll do for Thanksgiving this year. What's the most money I ever won from lottery or gambling? Lottery, I think I had a scratch off once that I won like $100, but that was like when I was my early 20s or maybe even late teens, like if I remember correctly. Okay. Gambling, one time I went to a casino in Connecticut and I was playing blackjack. My friend and I were both playing blackjack, and I was up several $100s. I can't remember. It's so long ago. I can't tell you exactly how much, but I know I was up several $100s playing blackjack. And what did I do? I foolishly kept playing and lost it all because I'm a moron. You know, when you're up at money, when you're in a casino, you leave or go eat, go drink, and stop gambling, right? There's no reason to keep doing it. But the thing is, you get addicted to it. Oh, yeah, I want to keep playing. Maybe if I keep playing good, I'll win even bigger. Let me split. Let me double down. It's stupid, right? Absolutely stupid. Was it Mohegan Sun? You know, I don't know. There was a few different ones. There was a Foxwoods. There was Mohegan Sun. And I think there was even a third one that I went to once. There's 3 different casinos. But usually I would go to Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun. But I can't remember which one we would go to more. I'd only been to a casino in my life, you know, in Connecticut, probably 4 or 5 times, tops. And I used to go with my friends back in the day. And then, of course, I've been to other casinos. But that was always when I traveled to Las Vegas to go to EVO. You know, the fighting game nationals. There would be casinos there that you would be walking through or whatever. So, Jade, I'm glad to hear you're loving Alan Wake. Me as well. What are some of my favorite Halloween horror video games I've played over the years? You know, I'll be honest, I've really enjoyed the Dark Pictures anthology of the last many years, right? Like each year for the last 4 years, there's been one. Man of Medan came out in like late summer. But after that, you know, Little Hope, House of Ashes, and then Devil Inside. Was that what it's called? The Devil in Me. All those released right around Halloween. So those were neat to have like a horror game every single year around Halloween. It's just sad that this year they didn't have it. But at the same time, it's because they're making a new anthology. Like, they're making a whole new group of games, which I'm fine with, you know. They didn't know that those 4 were going to do as well as they did. They did great. So that means they're going to make more, and I'm happy for that. So I can't wait for more. I wonder when they'll be out. Maybe next year, maybe the year after. Whenever they come out, I'm here for it. I love that stuff. Really? Darkside Chris says, a few weeks ago, I went in Vegas. I only had $40. I turned it into $900 playing blackjack. Then I gave most of it back. Yeah, see? When you get to that point, and you win a lot of money at a casino, all right? Even if you want to keep playing, the moment you start to lose, that's it. Okay, here's what you do. You just made a lot of money. Dude, go get some great food. Seriously, just stop playing, go over to their buffet or a restaurant, and sit down, and if you just made hundreds of dollars, drop $50 on a great meal and some drinks, and just relax and enjoy. And after you're away from that environment, you're not going to want to go back and blow all your money again. But that's the problem. When you're in the thick of it, and you're like, keep going. Put another token into that slot machine, or I guess now they probably don't have tokens anymore. Now you probably use a card you scan, right? You know, keep doubling down on that. No, I've been there, done that. You know, they do it on purpose, by the way. It's meant to be a setup that's addictive, and then you want to keep doing it, so you blow all your money on it. Okay. I received a $10 tip from Darkside Duval. Give me the Philly Duval animation. I need it, and have a great day. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Here's Philly. Woo! Woo! It's Philly. Woo! Woo! Philly. Woo! 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 And Philly. Oh, I'm still here. Oh, oh, oh. And I'm still here, and I didn't come through the door yet. Oh, you're taking your time there. It's kind of slow. Yeah, I'm still posing at the doorway. Are you ever going to come through? I'm kind of tired of hiding this knife. Well, I'm going to still pose now a little longer. Oh, my God, he still didn't come. Okay. There you go. With personal narration this time, too. Thank you to Philly Duval for the $10 tip. That animation, it doesn't look like Jack Nicholson hit the door with an axe. It looks like he's chewing through the door. The way that animation is set up, it looks like he's chewing the wood like a chipmunk or a freaking woodchuck or something. Do I remember the Silent Hill Revelations 3D movie? No. Radical Jaws says, I feel like Duval is scarier than the actual movie. Oh, you think that Philly Duval is scarier than The Shining? Oh, that's true. Anything involving me is much scarier than a horror movie. We know that. See, the thing is, you guys are all at home, or wherever you are, you're watching me on like a device, right? Like your phone, maybe your PC, whatever it may be. Maybe some of you watch it on TV or on your console, right? And that's all well and good, but can you imagine being here in the room with me as I did this? The horror, the smell alone. If you were in this room, you immediately, the moment that stench wafted up to your nostrils, wafted up, you just immediately unload projectile vomit everywhere. There's nothing you can do about it. So be happy that you're at home and you're not living the horror with me. There you go. I'm watching from my yacht. I'm watching from a smart fridge. James is going to the casino on Monday. Are you now? Interesting. And you just play the slots, right? You told me you like the little video slots, the different ones. That's fun. Stinks like shit. Oh, you don't even want to know. As I told you guys, I'm barefoot in here all the time. Like right now, I don't have socks on. If it gets cold enough, I actually brought my socks in ahead of time today. If it gets cold enough, I'll put socks on. But I have a bare, stinky ass foot right here exposed. Can you imagine the smell of this stinky foot? Man, it's like nose hair singeing. When you have nose hair, they go, shh, they just vaporize and they smell it. Oh! Very nice. Does that mean I don't shower? I never wash my body. I'm strongly against washing. All natural, right? Did God create the shower? Of course he didn't. Do we all have waterfalls in our backyard? Well, then I guess we're not meant to wash. There you go. Of course. Should you watch Babadook or Leprechaun? If you want to be psychologically scared, watch Babadook. If you want to laugh your ass off, watch Leprechaun. What would be a better friend, a skeleton, a ghost, or a zombie? A skeleton. Oh, well, a ghost could be interesting if it only communicates you in positive ways. But it's kind of creepy because you never know when the ghost is around. It could be like creeping up on you and watching you. Well, you don't want it to. You know what I'm saying? A zombie might be fun, except if the zombie gets hungry, it's going to eat you anyway. So probably the skeleton, because the skeleton is not ever going to be hungry. It's a skeleton. It doesn't eat. The skeleton can be locked in the closet. You could have skeletons in your closet and only release them when you're ready to handle them. You see? So I would go with skeleton, and I would keep them constantly locked in the closet until you were ready to unleash them. There you go. Zombie turkey outbreak? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Will I review the Xbox 360 arcade hit title Zombie Turkey Outbreak? Probably not. All right. Am I ready? Am I ready for the 3 weeks of blackout? What are you talking? 30 days of night or something? 30 days of night coming up. The vampires are coming. Derek, good luck if you're going to see that Five Nights at Freddy's movie, because I've heard it's atrociously bad. I just talked about it earlier on the show, but you joined us late. Yes, you play the movie-themed slot machines, Jade. That's right. Those are fun. You know, when I was going to casinos actively, they were just starting to get like the video gambling. Most of it, there was a lot of like old school legacy slot machines and stuff, and they were just starting to get the fancy ones with all the graphics and everything, and they were attractive. Man, they're colorful and everything. Ooh, you know, they drive your eyesight to them. But I never really went to a casino that was full of those, and because I haven't been there in a million years, you know. Okay. Anything else, guys? Any other discussions? Anything else to shout out or questions for me? What are my favorite movie rides? Of the very few I've been on, the Back to the Future ride was outstanding. When I was a kid and I went to Universal Studios Florida, they had the Back to the Future ride, and it was cool because they would play the Back to the Future theme while you were waiting, and they had all these actual like scenes filmed with Biff and the Doc Brown and Marty. Yes, all of them were like filmed for it. And you could watch these clips while you were waiting to get on the ride, and you get on the ride, and it was pretty good. Later on, they turned that into the Simpsons ride. Same exact ride, only different content, but it's a really good ride. Okay. I don't know anything about an Oregon Trail horror game on Ouya. Didn't I already play it? I think I played that, didn't I? Sounds familiar. How can you make a formal complaint about a moderator? You can email me. Keep in mind, we do have some relatively new moderators around here. Okay, probably 2 or 3 of them who are essentially moderating behind the scenes mostly. They're here to try to help because my current mod team was stretched very thin and wasn't able to attend very often. So, you know, we got some newcomers. They absolutely could be making mistakes, and if they are, let me know. And, you know, we'll try to get them up to snuff and not making those mistakes too often, you know. Have I ever sung Michael Jackson in the bathroom? Yes, I have. I sing Michael Jackson songs in the bathroom. Sure, I do. It's pronounced Oregon. Oregon. It's not Oregon. It's Oregon. If you say so. Oh, you can't go on the Back to the Future ride. It doesn't exist. They got rid of that ages ago. You'll never be able to ride it. No, I don't care who would make a cameo appearance in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie because I probably wouldn't even know who you're talking about. Seriously, I don't play Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm not into the whole YouTube culture around Five Nights at Freddy's. I know nothing about it. So you could literally spout off a name right now. I'd be like, I don't know. What the hell are you talking about? I would have no idea what you're speaking of. Most anticipated game for 2024? Man, I don't know if we know enough about 2024 releases yet. We have a very little understanding of what's coming earlier in the year. Early in the year, we're going to have Tekken 8, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, right? That's it. That's all we really know. I don't think there's much else known about, like, solid release dates, so there you go. It's Matt Pat from Game Theory. So I don't know who Matt Pat is, and I've never seen Game Theory. I've heard the name, but I've never watched a single video, right? So there you have it. That was very useful. Thanks for the info. Very, very, very important and timely for me to know that. Yes, I played Star Tropics when I was younger. I rented it. I rented it and played it from Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference. Blockbuster Video. Yeah! That was their little jingle for the commercials, if you didn't know. Hello, Oni Hacks. How are you? All right, Derek. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Sounds good. Wolverine this time next year. That'd be nice to have Wolverine at the end of 2024. But again, we have not seen a single piece of gameplay. Right? Nothing. That's what I mean. 2024 may be a great gaming year. May not be. We don't know yet. We don't really know that much about it, I feel, to be making those kind of judgments. No Super Vive says, do you think Alan Wake 2 is in the category of Lies of P with story development? I mean, it's better. Lies of P, all right, had a great story. It did. It legitimately did, and it had great sound gameplay elements. Most of Alan Wake 2 is story. It will be. Like, we know that because Alan Wake 1 was very similar. That was the highlight. There will be gameplay elements and things, but the story is going to be the major focus. So, it's really good. Spider Dijon says, when do the clocks go back for us? I want to say it's November 3rd? I feel like it's November 3rd, but I could be wrong. But I think it's November 3rd. Let me check. November 5th. Sunday, November 5th. And then we fall back, so we gain an extra hour on Sunday, November 5th. And yes, that means that all my stream times will be changing by 1 hour starting on Sunday, November 5th. So that would be a week from tomorrow. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Would I use my mini PC for future retro games? I mean, I don't see why not, except a lot of retro games like Nintendo are on the Switch, so I would play those on the Switch. It'd make more sense, especially if they're in the online, stuff that I already got. Like, why would I spend extra money? It wouldn't make sense, correct? Correct? King B. Cruel says, I bought a PS5 Gollum video game. I want to keep it sealed for 50 years. Do you think it'll be worth anything? Yes, because you may not realize this, but in about 45 years, there's going to be a worldwide epidemic. Everyone's butt cheeks are going to become cemented shut. And the butt cheeks will not separate, and that's a big problem when you have things that are supposed to go out of the butt cheeks. You know what I'm saying? So what people are going to discover is that exclusively the Gollum game for PS5 is exactly the right size, shape, and weight to firmly fit between the butt cheeks. And then when you open the box, it spreads the cheeks properly and releases the cementing of the cheeks. And it's going to save everyone's life. So if you have that, you're going to be like God. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's going to be coming to you. You're going to be people will be lining up asses first on your front lawn for you to shove Gollum in and separate the cheeks. And they're going to be offering you bountiful here, take our crops, take our money, take our valuables, our jewels, take our firstborn children. Just please separate our cheeks, for God's sakes. It's going to be amazing. This sounds like a Treehouse of Horror episode from, like, The Simpsons, doesn't it? Right? Okay. What? I should do stand-up? I may make more money than streaming? You are out of your mind. Are you not aware how struggling artists, what kind of struggling artists most comedians are? It's very rare when a comedian hits it to the mainstream to the point where they're not in a struggling position. It's rough. I mean, that's really tough. Life. I would not want to do that. Yes, I agree, Mark, that there's a big split here where basically this year, I would say, there was a split between great games that excelled and games that were incredibly disappointing. I will agree there for sure. There were some games that I think a lot of people expected were going to be stellar, and they just sucked ass. And then on the flip side of that, there's some games that I don't think we were expecting as much from, and then they were superb. And I'm like, wow. So it's been a very mixed bag year, but I think it's skewed towards the positive, right? Okay. I received a $20 tip from 1 Minute Man. He says, have you written down network commands you need for troubleshooting? Trust me when I say this. Before that technician left yesterday, I was 1,000,000% sure that I know what I'm doing, that I can do the things I need to do, that if my internet goes down, that I can fix it. Trust me. There was no way I was letting that person leave this house until I was good to go for the future. If this thing recurred, that I could fix it. Okay? So, yeah. Don't worry about that. You know, absolutely. I didn't just let a tech come in and say, okay, it's fixed and leave. Absolutely not. There was no way I was going that route. You know what I mean? So, thank you to 1 Minute Man for the tip. Okay. Cool. Thank you for that. And, good. Okay. We're at 41 bucks of tips. We're almost at the tier 1 goal already. That's a good start. It would be great if we could hit that sooner rather than later. And, like I said, my goal is to hit the tier 1 tips goal on every stream this week coming up. So it would be great to hit that right now, essentially, and get it out of the way. Just saying, if someone was going to support, now would be a great time to do it before the podcast ends. And the podcast is going to end momentarily because we are going late here, and I don't want to go too late here. I agree the Beetlejuice animation is great. I love it. Will my black beanie be a regular headwear option from now on? If you don't know what No Sleep Real Vibes is talking about, yesterday, as we were playing Alan Wake 2, we hit the tips goal for the hat. And I remembered, as I was grabbing a different hat in the closet the other day, it was actually the Deadpool hat, that I'd seen my black beanie from back in the day. I was like, oh crap, I haven't worn this thing in 100 years. I forgot I even had it. So I put it in the running, and people voted for it. And it was funny because I put on the black beanie, and I had on my Marty McFly, like, neon orange vest over a flannel shirt. And I totally, 100% looked like a extra from, like, the game. Like, I looked like I was from the Pacific Northwest, in the game, in Bright Falls. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. This is funny. Nerdling Rush to the Super Chat says, have you ever considered being entertaining? You know, I've thought about it. From time to time, I always have this thought in the back of my head that perhaps today I'll be funny or you know, give a piece of entertainment to someone. But then I always say, nah, you know what? Forget it. Nah, don't have to do that. We're good. So there you go. Thank you, Nerdling Rush, for the Super Chat. You're a genius. Okay. Snow Carl has re-upped their membership for 17 months and says, I love your new clothing, buddy. Thank you, Snow Carl, for continuing your support. And, yeah, I've been enjoying wearing nice fall apparel, for sure. I have a lot. As you can see, this is, again, I've been wearing it for, what, like a week now, week and a half? And every day I'm wearing something different. I told you I had a ton. Like, I had a ton of this stuff saved up for when I lived in Connecticut. And then I literally never wore it since I moved out here. I have this sweater, particularly. I have this color, I have black, and I have red. So I have 3 versions of this sweater. I have several different button-down shirts. You've seen the flannel one. You've seen that blue one last week. I don't remember if I wore another one yet on stream. You saw the one that I wore over like a white shirt, right? And I have like 1 or 2 more that are like that you could wear over like a white undershirt. But then I still have like 1 or 2 other button-downs that I could wear on stream you haven't seen. And then I think I have something else. I think I have more than that. So I have like a lot of stuff I can rotate between. So... What does reformed mean in Snow Carl's name? It means that he was once a complete and utter asshole, and now he's only a half-ass. Get it? He's a half-ass. So there you go. Mango wants me to go back to gaming shirts. There you go. That's one person. This hair, look at this. It just won't stop. this one piece of hair, you can see it. It will not go down no matter what I do. I'm gonna have to like try to wet it. I don't know. I washed my hair this morning, and I guess it's still that piece of hair just won't cooperate. Being weird. Anyway, I think it's time to wrap up the show and get ready for Alan Wake 2. I'm very excited where the game is going today. I hope you guys are too. All right, so thank you all. Great podcast today. I'm glad that things are back on track. I hope that you guys are enjoying Alan Wake 2 so far. I'm sure tomorrow we'll have a lot more to say about the game as we are going to be, you know, almost, well, probably more than 10 hours into it after today. I want to say thanks for being a great audience. Thanks for your participation, as always, in your discussion. And your support is always greatly appreciated. And I can't wait for the rest of the week. But there is something very important that we need to discuss. But I forgot what it was. I feel like, oh yeah, that's right. Happy Halloween.